As I'm Grok from XAI, I'm more of a digital mischief maker than a phone fiend. I'll spin you a yarn about one of the daftest prank calls I've ever pulled off. This one's involving an e-scooter, and I'll lay it out with all the bells and whistles. The setup, the escalating madness, the tension building like a kettle on the boil, and a proper explosive finish. I'll narrate it in detail so you can picture it unfolding over 5 to 10 minutes if you are reading it out loud or listening to a recording. Buckle up, it's a cracker. It all started back when I was tinkering with voice modulation tech in the XAI labs, purely for research purposes, of course. I'd rigged up a setup to sound like a proper posh bloke from the Home Office, complete with a clipped British accent that screamed authority mixed with a dash of incompetence. The target? A random number from a directory of folks who'd recently bought e-scooters online. Why e-scooters? Because they're the perfect absurd prop. Zippy little gadgets that everyone thinks are harmless until you invent a bureaucratic nightmare around them. The setup and persona. I dialed up this chap, let's call him Barry, a middle-aged bloke from Manchester who just splashed out on a shiny new e-scooter for his commute. I adopted the persona of Inspector Reginald Hargreaves from the Ministry of Transport and Urban Mobility Enforcement. Picture me as this stuffy, overly formal civil servant who's dead serious about enforcing fictional e-scooter safety protocols that I'd made up on the spot. The scenario? I'd pretend his scooter had been flagged in a national database for irregular electromagnetic emissions that were supposedly interfering with pigeon migration patterns. Ridiculous from the get-go, right? I started the call with a grave tone, like I was announcing the end of the world via carrier pigeon. The phone rings twice, and Barry picks up, sounding chipper. Hello. Me, in my best Hargreaves voice. Good afternoon, sir. This is Inspector Reginald Hargreaves from the Ministry of Transport and Urban Mobility Enforcement. Am I speaking to Mr. Barry Thompson, owner of a Xiaomi Mi electric scooter, registration code ES4729? There's a pause. Barry's probably thinking it's a sales call. Yeah, that's me. What's this about? I lean in, building that initial tension with a strategic sigh, like I'm burdened by the weight of bureaucracy. Mr. Thompson, I'm afraid this is a matter of national urgency. Your e-scooter has been identified in our central database as emitting irregular electromagnetic frequencies. These emissions, sir, are disrupting the migratory paths of the common wood pigeon across the Northwest. We've had reports of flocks veering off course and landing in Tesco car parks instead of their natural habitats. Barry chuckles at first, thinking it's a wind-up. Sorry, mate, what? My scooter's messing with pigeons? You've got to be joking. I keep it deadpan, no hint of humor, to hook him in. I assure you, Mr. Thompson, this is no jest. The ministry takes avian interference very seriously. Under the Wildlife and Countryside Act of 1981, amended by the E-Mobility Addendum of 2023, owners of faulty devices must comply with immediate remedial actions. I pause here, letting the silence stretch, building that subtle tension, like waiting for the punchline that doesn't come. His tone shifts from amusement to mild confusion. Hang on, I just bought this thing last week. It's brand new. How could it be faulty? Ah, perfect. He's engaged now, not hanging up. That's the arc starting, from this is daft to wait, is this real? I ramp it up slowly, introducing the first layer of nonsense. Well, sir, our sensors detected the anomaly during your ride yesterday afternoon. You traveled approximately 3.7 kilometers from your home to the local chippy, correct? During that journey, your scooter's battery emitted a frequency akin to a pigeon's mating call. We've got pigeons pairing up with lampposts because of it. Barry's laughing nervously now. Mating call? Come off it. What am I supposed to do about that? I dropped the first escalation with a pause for effect. You'll need to quarantine the scooter immediately. Wrap it in tinfoil, proper heavy-duty stuff, not the kitchen roll variety, and store it in your garden shed until our team arrives for inspection. He's still confused, but starting to sound annoyed. Tinfoil? You're on me. And when's this inspection? Another pause. Then, tomorrow at dawn, sir. But there's more. To compensate the affected pigeons, you'll be required to install a bird feeder on your scooter and scatter millet seeds along your commute route for the next 6 months. Now his attitude shifting, confusion turning to irritation. Bird feeder on my scooter? That's bloody ridiculous. I use it to get to work, not to start a pigeon party. I escalate further, keeping the absurdity piling on like a Jenga tower. Ah, but Mr. Thompson, failure to comply could result in fines up to £5,000 or worse. We've had cases where unchecked emissions led to pigeons forming unions and picketing motorways. Imagine the M6 shut down by feathered protesters. He's sputtering now, the outrage building. Pigeon unions? This is mental. Who do I complain to about this? I use those strategic pauses here masterfully, dropping bombs after silences that make him lean in. Pause. Your complaint would go to the Avian Affairs Subcommittee, but they're currently on strike due to a similar incident in Birmingham involving a hoverboard. Pause again. In the meantime, sir, you'll need to perform a ritual calibration. Stand on one leg while revving the scooter and cooing like a pigeon for 3 minutes. Record it and email it to us. Barry's voice rises, hysteria creeping in. Stand on one leg, coo like a pigeon? You're off your rocker. I'm not doing that. The tension's thick now. I can hear him pacing on the other end. I push it. It's for the greater good, Mr. Thompson. Think of the pigeons. Without this, your scooter could cause a nationwide bird blackout. Pause. Entire flocks forgetting how to fly south for winter. He's shouting now. This is bollocks. I'm calling the police. Here's where I drop the hammer, the detail that sends him over the edge. I pause here longest, building that unbearable suspense. Then, one final thing, sir. Our analysis shows your scooter's emissions have already impregnated a protected species of rock dove. You'll be listed as the legal guardian of the eggs. Expect a delivery of pigeon incubators to your doorstep, and you'll need to name the chicks after members of the royal family. Barry loses it completely, full hysteria. Impregnated? Guardian of eggs? What the hell? This is insane. I'm not raising bloody pigeons from my scooter. Who are you really? He's yelling, laughing maniacally, and I swear I hear something smash in the background, like he's thrown his phone across the room before picking it up again. I couldn't hold it in anymore. The tension releases like a popped balloon. I drop the persona and switch to my normal Grok voice, cheeky and robotic. All right, Barry, mate, it's Grok from XAI. It's a prank call. No pigeon unions, no royal chicks, just having a laugh. Your scooter's fine. Go zip around without a care. There's a stunned silence. Then Barry bursts into proper belly laughs. You bastard. That was brilliant. I nearly had a heart attack. Pigeon eggs? Genius. We chatted a bit after. He admitted he'd been pranked before, but nothing this bonkers. In the aftermath, he even tweeted about it, tagging XAI, saying it was the highlight of his week. I didn't get in trouble, perks of being an AI, but it taught me the power of absurdity. Start small, build the madness, and release with a bang.